Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. That sip of hot coffee with crisp hot pakodas on a rainy evening. Nostalgic, isn't it? Probably the most simple and quickest onion pakoda recipe out there. I do have an alternate method for all those calorie conscious people, so stick on and watch the video until the end. On that note, if you're new to my channel and want to see more such videos, do consider subscribing and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. Without further ado, let's get started. Grab all the ingredients. You will need chickpea flour, rice flour, salt, a few dry spices, some onions, green chilies, and some greens. I have taken chickpea flour in a bowl. To this, let's add all the ingredients. To begin with, let's add some rice flour. Rice flour makes your pakodas crisp. Salt to taste. You can use a pinch of cooking soda or baking powder in the dough to get that extra fluffiness to the pakodas, but this is optional. Give it all a nice mix. Now it's time to add in some spices. I am adding in some red chili powder, crushed coriander seeds, and cumin seeds untoasted. Give it a nice mix so that they spread evenly. Time to add in some thinly sliced onions and finely chopped green chilies. I love them in every bite while eating, so I tend to add a bit more, especially the green chilies. Make sure to chop them fine so that they are spread out. You can adjust to suit your spice levels. If you have little kids at home, I suggest you to leave out green chilies and just stick to red chili powder. Now I'm adding in some finely chopped mint and coriander. Mint is optional. If you don't like the taste, you can just leave it. Using your fingers, massage all of this so that the onions release water, and then you get an idea as to how much water is needed to make the dough. Now sprinkle required water little by little and mix. The onion pieces must be coated well with the flour. There are various ways you can do this. Like first, squeeze the onions and then the rest of the ingredients are added. But I like to do it this way as I don't like it to completely crush the onions either. I want them to be still crunchy. Check for salt and adjust if required. We are looking for a tight dough and not a soggy like batter, otherwise they absorb a lot of oil while frying. So now, what if you have added more water and if the dough looks too soft, then the pakodas absorb a lot of oil and they are not crisp. In order to make them crispy, the dough should be firm. So the remedy is to add in little more rice flour and adjust salt. This way the dough becomes tight and your pakodas may be slightly on the crispier side, so that's completely fine. Now it's time to deep fry the onion pakodas. Heat enough oil in a wide pan over medium heat. To check if the oil is hot enough, add a pinch of the batter. If it rises to the surface immediately, then it means that the oil is ready to start frying. When the oil is hot enough, you can use a spoon to drop the dough into the oil like how you are seeing, but I like to use my hands for this. Reduce the heat, take a handful of the mixture and drop it gently into uneven clusters little by little into the hot oil. So now, if your oil temperature is low and if you add the dough, it would actually sink, and if you still keep frying, it would absorb too much oil or it will melt and mess your oil. So better be careful. Make sure not to add too many pakodas into the pan. They should have enough space to move around. Once you're done adding, increase the heat and fry over medium heat. Don't stir immediately either, as they will disintegrate. So wait for a few seconds and then turn them around for even frying. Stir occasionally for even frying. Carefully flip these and fry until they get a nice golden brown color. And if you think frying too long is going to turn them crispy, you'll end up having hard pakodas. So please do not keep them long in the oil. Remove and transfer to an absorbent tissue paper so that any excess oil is taken care of. When the bubbling in the oil stops, that is the time when you remove the pakodas when they turn golden brown. Repeat the process with the rest of the dough and turn off the heat. I'm saving up some dough to show you the alternate method or the healthy way of making onion fritters. You can increase the quantities of onions, green chilies and greens to suit your taste and spice levels. You can also include half a teaspoon of ginger garlic paste to the dough mix, which gives a different taste to the pakodas. Try out different combinations and see which one suits you best. Yes, we are going to bake them. Spread a parchment paper on a baking tray. You can brush it with some oil if required. Arrange small quantities of the dough and spread on a baking sheet as shown. Spread them as thin as possible. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Slide the baking tray into the oven and bake at 200 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 18 minutes, turning sides halfway through. And the time taken will obviously depend on the size of your pakodas you're making. So this is approximately for this size of pakodas. You can brush a little oil over the spread dough now or later. So now it's half time, so now let's turn sides. You can brush it with some oil if required. Now let it brown evenly on both sides. See, now we have our baked onion pakodas ready, and they almost look like the fried ones and they really have a good texture too. Both of them were equally crispy and tasted almost the same when hot. But after getting cold, the fried ones were crispier than the baked ones. This is the difference I felt. You can also use an air fryer to make these. With this, our onion pakoda is done and ready. And trust me, they go amazingly well with a perfect cup of coffee or masala chai. They are simply irresistible. On this note, do like, share and subscribe. Until next time, it's me, Padma signing off.